Everyone is in love with raised garden beds, and honestly, so was I. But after several years of battling the harsh sun, wind, and wildlife that comes with high elevation living, I'm changing direction this year and doing something totally different. At higher elevations, the UV radiation is so intense that you can get greens started in a matter of a couple short weeks. They can go straight to seed. In addition, our mountain homestead is a thriving place for really high, unpredictable winds, and that can damage seedlings and topple things over and really make it hard for your plants to grow. They end up just being really stubby. As far as the wildlife is concerned, let's just say that my raised beds ended up becoming a gourmet buffet. 6 years ago, I built these raised beds, but when I'm growing vegetables, they dry out really fast, and even the drought-tolerant plants struggled. I tried to protect my plants from sun by using shade cloth, but even that wasn't a great solution. A lot of times it would just ball up or blow away. So this year, I'm moving most of my growing into a greenhouse. Not to hide from nature, but to work with it better. What I'm hoping to achieve is better shelter from our extreme wind and extreme UV radiation. And I'm hoping for more stable temperatures, which should yield healthier plants. Protection from animals, obviously. Between the moose, the deer, the rabbits, the mice, we have a lot to contend with. I really think it's going to be a better use of my time and energy. It's going to be a pleasure to be in the greenhouse, whereas out here when the sun's beating down, it can get a little overbearing. And as far as the raised beds go, well, I'm not going to tear them out. I'm actually going to let them go wild, literally. I'm thinking of sort of a soft retirement for a hardworking garden. With pollinator-friendly native wildflowers. There's already some volunteers growing already. I think the native flowers are the best suited for these because they're already adapted to the sun and the wind and the soil conditions. And as you can see, the yarrow is already taking off, and I didn't plant a single seed. And the native wildflowers just seem to have fewer pest and wildlife issues because local ecosystems are already balanced around them. The yarrow's already making a comeback, and honestly, it's kind of a relief to let something grow where it's happiest. We get so much yarrow here, I end up using it in my artwork. So if you've struggled with traditional gardening methods, it doesn't mean that you're doing it wrong. It might just mean that you need a setup that actually fits your climate. You don't have to choose between raised beds or a greenhouse, but I know for me, a greenhouse is a better fit because of our extreme weather. We have major temperature fluctuations, and the greenhouse will control for that. And we have major sun and wind issues that really make gardening a challenge up here. I know a lot of people fence their gardens off for their property, but we have a lot of acres, and that would mean a lot of fencing to keep out all the wildlife, and I don't even know if that's possible. So for us, the greenhouse definitely seems like the most reasonable and fun solution. If you're gardening in a tough climate, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what your workarounds are, or if you're interested in thinking about a greenhouse as a way to either extend your season or provide a more controlled climate so that you can get those gardening results that you're looking for. This season, I'm not giving up on gardening. I'm just gardening smarter in a space that supports me as much as I support it. And our greenhouse journey is just beginning. We're completing the panels this month, and it should be fully enclosed and ready for plants very soon.
Here's a little behind the scenes of how the greenhouse build has come together. We chose a dome-style greenhouse for its wind resistance and strength. The engineering specs met the building requirements of our county, so that was really important for us. You can notice how there's a foundational wall, and we ended up making that wall go deep underground so we could add air circulation in the ground, which will make it much easier to control the high temperatures that can occur from that strong midday sun. So the growing dome will also have a large pond inside to help regulate the temperatures overnight as well as during brief cold snaps. Overall, there's a lot of potential, and we're really excited about this game-changing gardening project. Definitely subscribe to see it come to life. We're just a couple of weeks away from starting to design the inside.
So you're invited to follow my journey, subscribe, and see how I transform a dome greenhouse into my own perfect little ecosystem.